Hi, this is JC from Geno's Garage. We're here today in the warehouse to talk to you about brake fluid, preventative maintenance, and the Motive Power Brake Bleeder. Brake fluid degrades over time. With exposure to air, it absorbs moisture, makes it less efficient, lowers its boiling point, and can cause rust and corrosion on your internal components. If you're not sure of your brake fluid quality, we offer a brake fluid tester. It's an inexpensive little device. It gives you the ability to constantly monitor your fluid so you know the exact condition. The Motive Power Brake Bleeder is a great device. It utilizes pressure to push the fluid through the system, so gone are the old days of pump and hold, pump and hold. It's excellent for the gentleman working at home alone or the guy that wants to work at home alone. It's an awesome device. The first step is always recommend that you disconnect your battery cables, your ground. That way you don't have any inadvertent side effects. And then you go to the master cylinder. On the older trucks with the rectangular cap, you utilize the plate. It has hooks and seals that straps it down so you get a good pressurized seal. The later model trucks use a replacement cap. You just replace this cap onto your master cylinder and then hook it to the line going to the bleeder. I always recommend that you do a dry test first to avoid the possibility of a big mess. Hook it all up, pressurize the tank to 15 psi, give it a minute or so, watch the pressure, make sure it doesn't drop. If it drops, track down where it's leaking. The most common place to have a leak is going to be at one of these connections. If you have trouble getting a good seal, you can utilize a little Teflon tape to give a good seal. But once you've verified that the system is good and holding pressure, then you want to add fluid. You never want to release the pressure on the system at the master cylinder. That can cause a big mess. So you always want to release the pressure at the bottle. So open the bottle and add fluid. We offer the Motool 5.1. It's compatible with all the previous brake fluids. It's an excellent product. I recommend adding about 1,000 milliliters, like 2 bottles. That should be sufficient to flush most systems. Once you add the fluid, then pressurize to 15 pounds. Watch and make sure anything's leaking, then proceed to the first wheel. You always want to start at the wheel furthest from the master cylinder on the trucks. It's going to be the passenger rear. And that brings up our next item, which is the Motive Power Bleeder Catch Bottle. It's a nice quality little device. It has a wire lanyard so you can hang it at the wheel you're working at. Strategically, you like to hang it, suspend it just a little higher than the bleed valve, so when the fluid comes out of the caliper, it travels upward into the bottle. That way you watch for air bubbles, watch till the fluid becomes clear. Once you're satisfied, snug your bleeder valve back shut. The next tip is on removing this. You want to lower the bottle down. If you undo the hose from the nipple, all the fluid in the hose is going to dump all over your caliper. So lower the bottle down, then pop it off the nipple. The fluid will go down into the bottle. You'll save another mess. Then you proceed to the next wheel, hook it up in the same fashion. I always like to go back and do a quick visual inspection of the master cylinder and the bottle in between each wheel to make sure nothing's leaking, make sure you got plenty of fluid still in the bottle, maybe give it a pump or two to get the pressure back to 15. Once you've completed all 4 wheels, you should be good. At that point, I reconnect the ground cables, start the truck, give the pedal a couple test push, everything's good. Then I slowly will move the vehicle and try the brakes. You want to be careful whenever you work on brakes. Always remember the emergency brake is your backup if it doesn't want to stop. Once you've done that, you're confident everything's good, then you want to do your cleanup. Once I put fluid in the bottle, I consider it used, and I don't want to pour it back into my original bottles. I want to discard it with my old petroleum products to be recycled. Once you dump it out, then you want to clean the bottle. Some people use a rag and some rubbing alcohol. I like to use just basic soap and water. Some water and a shot of Joy or Dawn. Shake it up good, pump some through the lines to clean them all out. Then I dump it out, wipe it dry with some clean paper towels, hang the lines up so they air dry. That way you're fresh and ready for the next time you use it. With that, it pretty well wraps everything up. If you have any questions, concerns, or feedback, feel free to reach out to me at jc@genosgarage.com. I look forward to your comments. Thank you for watching, and you have a blessed day.